Hello everyone and welcome to the second race of the Crown Royal Truck Series Chase season here. We're here for the Digital Storm 300 at Richmond. 40 drivers in the field just like always. A handful of drivers went home this weekend. Our 10 Chase contenders come out of a chaotic most sport weekend into what could still be a chaotic Richmond short track race. This is the first trip for the truck guys down to Richmond. The Cup guys will be on their second trip here this season to tomorrow in this event. Eli Bright, his first career Truck Series victory was here when he drove the 28, filling in for Riley Spurleytube in the injured season in TSR a couple years back. He's in his final year now. If he could win from the pole, that would be a fantastic send-off for a veteran. 3 wins last year, 4 total in the Truck Series. Looking for his 5th one tonight if he can get it done. And Jesse Turner, your defending Crown Royal 300 champion, he rolls off in second. Chase contenders Stephen Wallace Jr., Riley Spurleytube make up row 2 with Antoine Smith sitting there in 5th. So some Chase hopefuls there up in the front with Larry Hagan getting his first Truck Series victory and KGM's first Truck Series victory last week out at Mosport. Peter Onjak is looking to just win a race, and so is Dusty Neal. He's in that 82. Matthew Brown with a season-high qualifying run of 9th, and Jose Perez rounds out your top 10. Sebastian Kukulon fills in the 24. Kyle Vaughters, a fantastic qualifying performance for him, puts the KGM 90 into 13th in the field today. We'll see what the short track man can do. Anjato's short track DPDS driver right there. And there's TRD's short track driver, Cordell Smith, bringing the 67 up to the 15th position. Daniel Kobza, though, as we saw the top 10 had 4 Chase contenders in SWJ, Spurleytube, Antoine Smith, and Perez. All the way back to 19th, you find Daniel Kobza, and 21st, you find Austin Johnson. 22nd, since Zach Rogers, looking to get his first career win if he can today at his sponsor's own event. See what the 9 team can do. Further back, you got Ryan Butcher in the 17. He rolls off in the 24th position. Alex Peters, your new points leader after last week, and Eric Monaco just 5 points behind him. They roll off alongside each other deep in the grid. 25th and 26th, those two will have to drive their way through the field. After Logan Cloud retired, the 32 was left open. Lotus Disburrito will be filling in for this race weekend after the 32 team had some decent performances the last 2 races. Lotus Disburrito drives the 32 today. Matthew Eves in the 48, a team and a truck number that have had major success at Richmond many years past with Jay Jefferson. We'll see what Eves can do. He starts very far back, though, 29th, one of the worst Chase contenders in qualifying performance. Colton Yo filling in for the 11 truck for the remainder of the season for that ALTM team. We'll see what he can do after Kyle Corbett was removed from that position. And the rest of the grid, Roger Ray's team comes back in that 84, and of course Zachary Fitzwater making his final start at Richmond. We're getting ready to go down trackside for the commands to fire the engines. The Digital Storm 300, 75 laps ahead of us at the short track. Let's see what the Chase grid will look like after this. 75 laps at Richmond coming your way after this command.
Drivers, start your engines!
With that, the engines are fired. Eli Bright rolling off a field of 40 for some great action here today at Richmond. Eli, again, he won this race about 4 years ago, back in the early seasons of the NSDCA Crown Royal Truck Series, driving for the 28. This is the series. If he's getting a race win, it's going to be another one in the trucks before it comes out with a struggling cup operation out of TSR. We'll see what Eli can do today, though, in this 8 truck. Jesse Turner alongside of him. Turner looking for his second career win. Stephen Wallace Jr., Riley Spurleytube, Antoine Smith looking to get some major points today if they can hang on up front. You got drivers just looking for wins behind them. 40 drivers, 75 laps at Richmond. A short track race in the Truck Series. We're green at the Richmond Raceway. Down into turn 3 for the first time. Noticed on that restart, Matthew Brown, a horrible start to the race as he fell back pretty much immediately in that 16. Allowed Jose Perez to get to the bottom. Now Antoine Smith is looking to the bottom of Stephen Wallace Jr. Could get a run on Eli Bright if he can get in there, as SWJ is now going to be shuffled back. Perez started this race in 10th. He's already up into the 5th position for that 35 truck and trying to pick up more spots as he's fighting some fellow Dodges in front of him. Hagan, Spurley, Matthew Brown all in it. 2 by 2 as they come off the corner. 40 cars down this front straightaway. A couple cars at the back kind of being slow. Lotus this burrito dropping back a ton. The outside line is very weak at Richmond. It's a typical short track race as Aiden Smith is 3 wide with Patrick Smith, Nicky Morris on the inside and outside of him. Matthew Eves trying to pick up as many spots as he can. And 2 by 2 all throughout this as Hagan gets Perez up the track. That's going to bring the 98 back in it. And here comes Onjak in the 97. We had one chase spoiler already this season with Larry Hagan winning the first race of the chase. We're the second race of this chase schedule. And you got Bright, Onjak, and Hagan all inside the top 5. Just Antoine Smith separating those top 4, or the top 5 drivers there with this chase guy right there. But Antoine entering this 17 points back from Alex Peters. Right now, Antoine would pretty much be the points leader. Peters 26th, Monaco at the back as well, outside the top 30. Antoine's just hoping for a good run today. Made a mistake at Mosport that cost him big time. He went wide and ended up pretty much, I think, crashing the truck, but he was able to recover at the end with a ton of pit strategy issues. And here they come down. He is pressuring Eli Bright like crazy for that top spot. We'll see if Eli will be able to hang on over the pressures. We're going to keep looking at this battle up in front, but look at Kyle Vaughters. We said the young short track guy for KGM. Let's see what he can do. And he's already up into the 7th position for KGM. Hagan up in the top 10 as well. So that's a big day for them. RER also having a good day. And there's Austin Johnson. Started this race 21st, trying to break his way into the top 10. There's Spurley and Eves. Spurley finally gets to the inside line. Started this race 4th. He's back to 14th. Eves 16th. Looking even further back, though, Monaco's just now starting to move his way up, and Alex Peters has been trapped on the outside. Finally tries to force his way under Mike Cook as we got 2 trucks really going at it, the slow trucks at the back. Irving Allison and Lotus Disburrito, who has fallen to last. So we're going to have a flyby down here into turn number 3. The roar of 40 engines going down as one truck's around. That's Roger Ray at the back in the 84. And that will bring us to the first caution of the day as they come cycling on through turn 4. A very tricky portion of the track to get around. And we are under caution for the first time today here at Richmond as Antoine Smith... No, he just shot past Eli. They're trying to form up now to get a line. So Eli did lead them back to the line. Antoine does not lead. 9 to 75. If you want to pit here, you can. If not, it's no big deal. You're definitely going to want to try to make it to the end of the race no matter what. So we'll see if anyone does try to bring it down pit road here. Looks like Vaughters having a time back there in the 90 trying to get these guys all formed back up. They come cycling through turns 3 and 4. And it does not look like anyone's going to come down that time, so we'll get a quick replay on your screen of what happened. Bring you guys back to the action. Roger Ray in the 84 goes around on the backstretch. No real damage to him. Under caution for the first time today at the Digital Storm 300. Back here entering turn 1, you're going to see Ray up the track a little bit. Colton Yo, his first race in about a year, just gets into the 84 and spins him around. Vince Freeze gets a piece of it, but no real damage to anyone. He locked it all up. First caution of the day here at Richmond. Only one driver brought it down pit road, that being Brandon Beal in the 01, took tires and fuel. NSDCA performing a quickie yellow as, of course, it was just simple spin, nothing really to clean up. No one came down pit road, so they will get these guys back racing ASAP. Eli Bright, your race leader, over Antoine Smith, Peter Onjak, Larry Hagan, and Stephen Wallace Jr. Sebastian Kuklon's brought that 24 into the 6th position. Jose Perez 7th, Austin Johnson 8th, Daniel Cobbs in 9th, Aiden Smith in 10th. All 40 drivers still in the race, all 40 still on the lead lap. Eli Bright still trying to win this one. 64 laps to go this time by. Green flags back in the air. And we're racing once again at Richmond. Antoine got a good jump there, but he's all over the back of Eli trying to make something work. Hard to pass at Richmond. We've seen this time and time again. You want to get it done on a restart if all possible. As there you see Antoine looking that 0-0 down to the inside of Eli. We'll see if he can clear him down into the corner. And that he will, but a little forcefully as he shoves the 8 out of the way. That's going to bring Onjak to the inside of Eli. Stephen Walls Jr. and Hagen fighting back there for that second spot. And Bright's going to go back in front of Onjak and take that spot back. But he's hanging on and hanging strong. Antoine Smith, your new race leader in the 0-0. We're looking all the way through. There's Ray at the very back. As most of this field now, it should be much nicer this time, I'd say, as we are a bit more single-filed out for this restart. There you see Matthew Eves in the 48 now making a move on Kuklon, looking to break that car into the top 10. You also got Jose Perez now breaking the 35 into the top 5. Here comes Jose in that 35. And remember, at Chicagoland, he ended up with a pretty severe injury, in all things to say, and Charles Sanford had to replace him for the second race at Chicagoland. Still was able to start the race, but and as we see, Irving Allison is also one lap down in the 78. He did come down pit road in the 78. So Irving Allison now a bit of an issue there. But as we said, Jose's, I don't know if he's going to be pushing 100% in these next few races, just trying to, keep his season alive and keep him in the truck. He's been fighting injury issues a lot in his career. Of course, last season at Kentucky with Austin Johnson, who's only a couple spots behind him now, as Hagen and Kobza are both going to move to the inside of Perez. But the driver of the 35, he just wants to come out of here clean. He wants to finish a season because I think it's been 2 years or so since he's actually ran a full-time campaign right through to the end. So we'll see what Jose can do there as Antoine's out in front. CFRO having a bit of dogfighting amongst themselves. Stephen Wallace Jr. trying to get as much as he can in this points battle. He entered this as pretty much the last seed in the chase. He's 56 points behind Alex Peters entering this race. Now, again, Peters is struggling at the back. He and Monaco both start at the back, as I think Hagen got real close to Onjak there. But Stephen Wallace Jr., he's still fighting for as many points as he can get in that 98 car, if he can get it, because he still has a shot at the chase, but he has to drive strong and drive fast now. That's what he's trying to do, as Eli Bright is trying to drive fast and strong after Antoine Smith. We'll see if the TSR supremacy at Richmond can continue. Jay Jefferson, I believe 4 wins here. He's won a race in every division here. Mountain Dew Custom Series inaugural winner at Richmond. Truck Series inaugural winner at Richmond. And if I am not mistaken, I believe he won last season's race, the Cup Series inaugural race at Richmond as well. So TSR has some speed at Richmond, especially in those trucks. And you already see Matthew Eves has torn his way through the field, getting by Perez, Kobza, Johnson in that 48 truck. And it looks like this year could be another back-to-back season for championships for TSR in this 48 team. And if they do indeed take a championship this year, I am fairly sure that will break the tie they have with Onjado, because they have Jake Galloway, one Mountain Dew Custom Series championship and a truck championship and a cup championship for Jay Jefferson last season. And Onjado, of course, has Onjak's Mountain Dew Custom Series, Foster's MDCS, and Bauer's truck title. So this is an important year for TSR, especially with that alliance breaking up at the end of the season between TSR and Onjado. Now they're going to be rivals at Dodge, fighting for as much as they got. Colton Yo not having a good day there. He's back in 39th. I thought that was Eric Monaco. Let's get a quick update on where our chase contenders run. And there is Alex Peters, points leader Alex Peters, entering this race struggling here at the short track. He's back in 30th as they are 3 wide in front of him with Patrick Smith, Christian Vargas, and Priya McShane all in there, and that's not going to work. McShane's into the outside wall in the 2 truck. That's going to lose her a ton of time. So is Vargas, and Alex Peters is going to capitalize on that, drive right past all 3 of them. Matthew Brown, Kyle Vaughters now dropping like a rock. Ryan Butcher only 24th right now. Monaco's fought his way up to 18th. Turner 17th after starting on the front row. But it looks like from Spurley Tube on up, it looks like the majority of the chase contenders, 7 of the 10 of them are in this top 10, I believe. You got Antoine, SWJ, Eves, Kobza, Johnson, Perez, Spurley Tube. So Spurley Tube's 11. So that's 7 of them right there under a blanket up front. And who is under a blanket? But Eli Bright is under a blanket, and looking underneath Antoine Don't think he's going to get there, though, that time, but he's showing that he has some pace and could get this lead back if he tries. We're 26 laps through this one. Matthew Eves already inside that 6th position, so that Mrs. Baird's Bread Bakery number 48 is still driving hard, but now he has Daniel Kobza behind him. And again, this is the first chase battle in the chase era from Season 3 of the NSDCA to now, because the MDCS has never ran a chase program, that the championship battle between the 48 and 44 is not fought between Jefferson and Onjak. In the chase series. It's always been Jefferson in the 48 until last season. It was supposed to be Colton Yo. Yo disappeared, so Jefferson took it back. This is the first year that the 48 truck is being driven full-time by someone else, and this is the first year that the 44 truck is being driven full-time by someone else. One is a veteran who is finally getting into his own now with a opportunity with some good teams, and one is a rookie who pretty much shined everywhere last year in the MDCS but could not sneak a championship away from Anderson Reed. Kobza now in the 44 all over the back of Eves, as Eves is all over the back of Onjak. Don't want to piss Onjak off because he's in the cup race tomorrow, and also Onjak's fighting for a championship up there, so Onjak's trying to hang on as much as he can, and he's going to really slow up Eves back into Kobza. Might be some team planning there, trying to get Kobza a shot at the 48, but Eves is going to slide to the inside, does not give Onjak any room, runs him out of room. Now Kobza is going to have to look for a move on the 97 of Onjak. Here it is for that 6th position, and Peter is going to go back down and take it. And there he goes, slams the door on Kobza. Daniel's going to get right back under there. And that's the thing with some of these team owners. They never really play team favorites too much, or I should say on-track team favorites too much, because they will fight and claw their own drivers, and I think that shows. You see Kobza was able to maneuver past Onjak cleanly and quickly. That shows how good of a driver Kobza is as he gets around the boss man, Peter Onjak. Looking a bit further back, Downey and Aiden Smith both entered Chicagoland with a chance at making the chase. Both of them did not make it. Both of them, though, running just outside the top 10. Well, 32 laps into this one. We're catching slowly up to lap traffic. There's Colton Yo in the 11, and some of the other cars scattered out through the back here at Richmond. We're going to go ahead, take a very quick commercial break. Bring guys back to the action here at the Richmond Raceway. The Digital Storm 300, 33 laps into this one. Antoine Smith leads over Eli Bright, Stephen Walls Jr., Larry Hagan, and Matthew Eves. Go ahead, take a quick commercial break. Bring guys back to the action here at Richmond. Back live here at Richmond, we're seeing a great fight going on up front here, about 8th on back, with Onjak slowly starting to fade in that 97. Gatlin Downey's gotten around Jose Perez. Spurleytube's gotten by Onjak. They're having some great battles there. Now Aiden Smith looking for 11th on Jose Perez. Matthew Eves also has pretty much stalled out behind these guys. And as the tires wear, as we're getting further and further into this run, I think with how far the field, at least the front half of the grid, is starting to spread out, it's going to start becoming a tire management game, starting to deal with some lap traffic here soon, as there is Colton Yo just ahead of Antoine Smith and Eli Bright. So that could also come into this, and even still, Yo's a bit damaged, but you got a bunch of the slower trucks right in front of him as well. And we'll see how pit stops will be a factor here. And again, Brandon Beal came down on lap 9, has 4 fresh tires and fuel to make it just a little bit further. So there is a question, with all these guys pretty much staying out under that caution, do they think that they can make it to the end of the race with no pit stop? It's only 75 laps at a short track, but that's usually how it's been for races like Memphis and Nashville. So we'll see if fuel strategy will be an issue or not. Currently, the furthest back chase contender is 23rd, Eric Monaco. Alex Peters has moved his way to 19th. Ryan Butcher up to 18th. There's Zach Rogers, as Turner is getting real aggressive with Lane back there. Jose Perez fighting for the 12th position. And then 8th on up is pretty much all chase contenders outside of Hagan and Bright, as SWJ is going to get caught by Eves as Bright has caught Smith. We're trying to go to the wider angle shot to show you those two that are taking off down front. There's Eves clears, but now Eli Bright is all over the back of Antoine Smith, trying to steal this race win away and make it 2 in a row for the Chase spoilers here. This truck season has been very entertaining and very unprecedented. Of course, you had 3 drivers with race wins, or 2 drivers with race wins. No, 3 drivers with race wins, yeah, miss the chase with those wild card spots. In 14 races, we've only had 2 repeat winners. Alex Peters won 2 races, and Matthew Eves won 3 races. Everyone else has won a race apiece, making it 11 winners in 14 races. And if Eli Bright can sneak up there and win this one, it'd be 12 in 15 if he can do so with just 5 races left in the season. But now Matthew Eves has lit a spark under that 48. He's charging through. Got by SWJ, got by Hagen, and is starting to charge through. Will this be another race win for the 48 and a possible 4th win on the season for Matthew Eves, who is starting to rival even Jay Jefferson in his Truck Series dominance this year? Oh, and real close between Eves and Hagen back there as Antoine's now going to work his way under Colton Yo. Forces Yo pretty wide there in the 11. Remember last season, Yo drove pretty much full time in the Truck Series. Splitting it between the TSR 21 and the Evernham 02 and ran very well. Almost got himself into the chase. If he had a race win, he probably would have been. I think it was 12th in regular season standings, but after that, did not run the remainder of the full schedule. He ran a handful of races, but not the full thing, as SWJ is going to go back to the inside of Hagen. Cobbs is there. Austin Johnson's there. So Hagen's in a pretty big sandwich of important drivers and important passes, and Hagen trying to get as many points as he can for that 25 team. Aiden Smith all over the back there. Perez's car starting to fade. Butcher, Alex Peters actually faded a little bit behind Monaco. This field's getting real spread out now, so it might be easier for Antoine to get through, but no matter what, take a look at those intervals real quick. Eves gained 8/10 that time by in that 48 with these guys dealing with lap traffic. That's bringing Eves into the fight, but that's also brought Eli Bright back into the fight. Now, is Colton Yo's going to go to Matthew Eves back there? And remember, Yo is a TSR driver, so was he fighting Antoine harder than he will for these guys back here? As here is Eves now to the inside. Bright is looking, and here comes Eli down to the bottom in that 8 truck. His final start at Richmond, going back for the race lead. Eves is right there in that 48 now. Top 3 under a blanket as Bright is going for it all. Eves up the track just a little bit. Colton Yo's going to jump back to the inside. 3 wide coming off the corner. Contact with Yo on the bottom. Antoine Smith on the outside. And down into turn number 1. Colton Yo's still fighting these guys 3 wide. Antoine's going to back out of it. And Yo is all over the side of Eves as Eli Bright has taken the lead here. Smith is back to 3rd. And now Bright's going to have to hang on over Eves, which ain't going to happen. Pit stops underway for Patrick Smith and the field. And now Eli Bright is bringing that car around in the race lead as Eves is looking anywhere he can, inside, outside, as they're working through lap traffic. SWJ's up here as well. So pit stops here with about 25 to go. And Eli Bright's going to bring it on in. So we're going to pause it right there as SWJ moves up to 2nd. Eves takes the lead. Bright's in with Austin Johnson. And the rest of the field coming on around. There's Butcher, Lane, Fletcher, Neal. So this will be the money stop. 52 with 75, mixing around on who's coming in, who's staying out. And we'll see what strategy will be the big one. Eves continues to stay out. Stephen Wallace Jr. just barely making it onto pit road. Almost got a piece of the tire barrier there. Alex Peters sliding right past these guys. So Peters stays out. Bradley stays out. ZR is still out there. 3 wide back there between Dilks, Beal, and Reed as they come on around. And we're still looking, and there is Eves bringing it on in. Spurley, Tube, Onjak already made their stops. They're going by Roger Ray now. There's Monaco, so who is going to lead this time by? Bradley's in, so I think this might be everyone coming in now. And Brandon Beal is not going to play any strategy there. So there is Eli Bright. He's 1 lap down as he goes past there. Oh, it's actually TRD. So John Dilks and Cordell Smith. Cordell is right there in the 67. God, I'm hoping these guys merge back onto the track kindly. But now TRD is the only 2 that have not pit yet because Logan Bradley was on pit road. It's John Dilks and Cordell Smith pacing the field right now. There is Eves in the 48 as he comes out. He goes a lap down to him. Mike Cook, Lotus Disparito also staying out. And Eves is going to be long gone of Bright and Stephen Wallace Jr. So I think that is going to be it for Eli Bright's hopes at winning a final race of his career, because he is not going to catch that 48 with how Eves has driven his way through the field. Mike Cook's now down pit road. And we're still looking. These guys are 3 3 wide. Fletcher and Sladek need to watch themselves. Cordell's bringing it in now. And so is Dilk. So TRD will relinquish the lead right there. SRI and Lotus Disparito. I think Lotus was forced outside, so Lotus is going to stay out another lap. So is Fitzwater and Roger Ray. The Disparito, I don't think she got that lap led. But there's your top 3 right now with Ray, and Ray's going to be forced to stay out with Butcher going around him. And Disparito's staying out, so is Fitzwater, so is Ray, so Simtech Racing Incorporated, I think they've done this before with Maxwell Fay in the 32, or they did it with someone in the 32. They are leading right now. Simtech Racing Incorporated is leading. They've trapped a good portion of trucks a lap down. 16 on the lead lap right now. It'll change once they pit. But Disparito, Fitzwater, in his final start at Richmond, I think he just wants a little TV time there being up in front. Big pack of trucks right here. Turner, Rogers. You got 2 chase contenders. The points leaders heading into this. They're trying to get as many spots as they can. Monaco and Peters ain't letting up. And the 3rd truck, I think, has already come in. It looks like, yeah, he came in. So Ray came in. Monaco gets by. There's Lotus and Fitzwater. Now Zachary Fitzwater is going to lead a lap, so he will at least get one more lap led in his career in that 59, as Aiden Smith's trying to get by him any way he can. 15 to go still, I think. And that time, Fitzy's going to bring it on in. Irving Allison also coming back in. So there is your race leader, Zachary Fitzwater, bringing it down pit road. And we're going to go back to the fight for the lead. Bright is there, so lap traffic could still play a factor in this. Bright leads, or Eves leads, sorry, over Eli Bright in 2nd. Stephen Walls Jr. in 3rd. Antoine Smith in 4th. Larry Hagan 5th. Cobbs 6th. Johnson 7th. Spurley Tube 8th. Onjack 9th. Gatlin Downey, your top 10, and they're kind of off to their own little races. So now Eves is going to be fighting his way through lap traffic. Eli Bright is going to throw it to the inside of him. This is for the lead right here. And Bright, can he get his final career victory fighting the best driver in the Truck Series this year? Side by side for that top spot. Reed and Patrick Smith right behind him. And Matthew Brown is going to park the absolute bus coming off the corner, and that's slow 16. He's been in the way a lot this season. That's why BGM's getting rid of him. And he's going elsewhere next season to something that another BGM driver has followed to. And just like that, I think that ends the race right there. Eves has clear sailing for a little bit. Brown's not letting Bright by. Reed's in this now. I don't know what Anderson Reed's planning to do for JSR there. There's SWJ and Antoine Smith. They're not out of this yet, but that 48 truck has been bad fast all season long, and just like it has been, just like last year, it's all the 48. You can tell who the top dog at TSR is. Eli Bright, I don't know. I don't think that truck has enough to get back up there and catch him. Not with a lap or a Brown in the way. Stephen Wallace Jr. sends it to the inside of Anderson Reed. Antoine Smith also making a move there. As Bright now, if I was him, I'd take a page out of the boss man's book and turn the 16 into the wall, but that's frustrating. Vince Free's way up the track, and I think Bright might have just given him a bit of a bumper there, but now he's got to get by the 60. He went from right on the back of the 48 now to 1 second behind. And just like 3 other times this season, it's going to be 10 to go for Matthew Eves, away from his 4th win on the year. And absolutely dominant fashion today. Didn't dominate the race, but dominated the field. Flew his way up from mid-pack, 29th. That's not even mid-pack. That's the front of the back of the pack. And now he's working past guys he's already worked past before in this race, so he knows he can pass them. And now he's on fresher tires as well, so Eves working his way through some lap traffic. Lane trying to stay on. Now, these guys aren't going to move over for him. They're still trying to stay on the lead lap. You see Dilks and Cordell. They went from leading the race. They're 26th, 27th. Eves jumps to the inside there. Battle for 2nd heating up. Stephen Wallace Jr. getting right on Eli Bright. So SWJ, Eli Bright, 2 short track drivers. They've Bright's won here at Richmond. Stephen Wallace Jr., 2-time winner at South Boston. Won that race this year to get himself into the chase. That's how he got the wild card spot. And Eves pulling away. You see him down there working his way past more lap traffic. SWJ working his way past Bright. But even if Eli ends up not winning this race, what a send-off it's going to be. His first NSDCA victory came here at Richmond, driving the 28 truck, replacing Riley Spurleytube. He got a pole today, led some laps. He really he's been a factor for the race still. And again, 6 to go, 5 to go at a short track. You got all these lappers. It's not to say it's over yet, but it pretty much is, especially with no green-white checkered. Was that a caution? No, I don't think there's a caution, but hey, something's going on back here. There's Spurleytube, Johnson, Downey, Kobza, and Onjak fighting, and Spurleytube's picking his way up to 6th. So after a poor run at Mosport for Eves and Spurleytube, they are moving their way through. Eli's now dropping back to the chase contenders. Maybe at this point he's just accepting his fate. But again, it's going to be sad to see another long-term veteran of the NSDCA go. Picked up 4 Truck Series victories. Had a chance at a win today. It's going to slip from his grasp, but he is in the 4th position. Still looking for at least another top 5 before it goes. And he still has a bunch of Cup races and Truck races left. He has the rest of the season to go. And he's here tomorrow in the Cup race. Maybe miracles will happen there, but no miracle today. Just outright pace for Matthew Eves, as he's going to come down 2 to go. Now John Dilks is fighting back at him. Dilks has fresher tires. I don't think the pace is going to matter, though. The 48 team at Richmond, TSR at Richmond, has been an unstoppable force for years in the NSDCA. You had Onjak versus Jefferson in Season 1. You had Bright win Season 2. You've had Bowers and Jefferson fight in the chase here, and Jefferson was chasing Bowers before Bowers stole that win. And coming around to the white flag, Matthew Eves has clear sailing ahead of him, clear sailing behind him, 1.5 seconds between him and the next nearest competitor. 29th, he started this race. He's going to work his way through. TSR started on pole, and they're going to end in victory lane with 2 different drivers. The pace at Richmond is unbeatable for TSR. Matthew Eves, 4th win of the year. He gets it at Richmond Raceway. Man, don't tell anyone else what I said earlier in this race. You can't pass at Richmond, because Eves passed about 29 drivers and then some, working his way through lap traffic, and gets the Mrs. Baird's Bread Bakery 48, a longtime sponsor for the truck team. They sponsored the 21 all of last season. Didn't get into victory lane, but got close with Colton Yo, and they come into victory lane now at Richmond as well. Fantastic race, fantastic scenes. Green all the way outside of Roger Ray's early spin. All 40 cars will finish the race. That's also a good thing for the team owners there. But the points battle is going to heat up. Eves will probably shoot his way to the points lead, with Spurleytube hot on his heels, Antoine Smith as well. So the big 3 are still right in that fight. Stephen Walls Jr. is going to pick up a good chunk on these guys, because he's going to lose to Eves, but he does gain on Peters, Monaco, and Spurleytube. And so he will be back a bit, probably about 40 points back or so. See Larry Hagan, Eli Bright, 2 spoilers up in that top 5. Gatlin, Downey, Peter Onjak as well shooting their way up. Spurleytube 6th, Johnson 9th, Kobza 10th. Johnson really needs a miracle now. He's going to lose more time in points to a lot of those guys. You got Aiden Smith, Ryan Butcher recovered to 13th, Monaco and Peters 15th and 16th. Didn't really have the cars to move through the field, but they're not going to be the last 2 chase contenders. It's Jose Perez 17th there in the 35. It looks like he is the farthest back one. 25 drivers on the lead lap. So the points battle's heating up. We got 5 races left in the Truck Series chase, but we have 7 races left in the Cup Series chase, and that begins tomorrow at Richmond for the second race of the Cup chase. Matthew Eves drives through the field, 29th to 1st, and a dominant victory there in that 48 truck. TSR's dominance cannot be stopped at Richmond. We'll see if they can repeat tomorrow with Jefferson, Butcher, or even Eli Bright getting himself into victory lane. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.